Alright, we're going to enter a quiz into our test course here. Now your course may be topics format or it may be another format, and it may have the topics aligned horizontally across the top of the page, or they may be aligned vertically. But in any case, what you're going to want to do is go to your course page and select the topic where you want to enter your quiz. Once you're there, you're going to see the option to add an activity or resource. So click on that link. Now you'll see a whole bunch of activities that you can add. So you're going to want to select the quiz activity. Click there and give your quiz a name. Here we're just going to call it Test Your Knowledge. Optionally, you can add a description, and you can also click on the checkbox to display the description on your course page. Now you have the option of setting up a release date for opening the quiz and closing the quiz, as well as a time limit for the quiz, if you wish. To enable the timing options, you'll want to click on the Enable checkbox at right. Here I'm going to open the quiz on April 10th at 1 p.m. or 1300. Then I'm going to close the quiz on April 16th at 11:59 p.m. I'm also going to give the quiz a 30-minute time limit. Note that there are some additional settings here that control what happens when the time limit expires. You can elect to submit open attempts automatically, establish a grace period, or just not count attempts that aren't submitted before the time expires. If you do decide to establish a grace period, you can set the length of the grace period. The default grade category is uncategorized. We'll leave that for now, but in another video, we'll show you how to set up a grade category for specific assignments and quizzes. Now we're going to set a grade value needed to pass. I've put a 50 in here for 50%, but actually this is wrong. What we need is 5. So 5 out of 10, because the quiz is worth 10 points, is what's needed to pass this quiz. 5 out of 10 is worth 50%. At the end of this video, we'll go back and edit this value so that it's correct. We'll leave attempts allowed at 1 for now. At the end of the video, we're going to go back and edit this and change it to 2 attempts allowed for this quiz. The layout option specifies how many questions you want to have on each page. Here we'll change it to 5 questions for each page. Let's leave the navigation method as free so the student can jump around between questions if they wish. We're going to set up this quiz to shuffle the answers within each question. This setting will also have to be set up within the individual questions in order for it to be enabled in the quiz. We're going to leave the deferred feedback option as is. This is an option that allows the students to review the answers to their questions in various ways throughout the quiz. At this point, we're just going to leave it as deferred feedback at the end of the quiz. At this point, we're not going to allow a redo within an attempt. Review options give you a lot of opportunity to give information to the student as they're going through the quiz. Here we're just going to check the check boxes for all of the feedback information after the quiz is closed. We're going to leave the appearance options as they are, with the number of decimal places in the grades and the decimal places in the question grades set as the default. The extra restrictions on attempts options allow you to set a password for your quiz or require a specific network address to access the quiz. They also allow you to enforce delays between the first and second attempts on a quiz if you have multiple attempts. Here we're just going to set them to the default values. Overall feedback allows you to set up specific feedback based on the grade a student achieves on the quiz. In this example, we've set up the feedback of great job for anybody achieving 75% or more on the quiz. For anybody under that amount, we've set up the feedback of you might want to review the materials in this module. Common module settings pertain to availability of your quiz within the course. You can have it show on the course page, you can hide it from students, or you can make it available but have it linked from somewhere else in the course. This common module settings option also allows you to allow or disallow groups. The add restriction settings allow you to set up restrictions based on dates, grades, user profile, or a set of nested restrictions. Here we're just walking through some of the possible restrictions that you might want to add to your quiz. We're just going to leave activity completion as do not indicate activity completion. We might look at this in a later video, but right now we're just concentrating on getting this quiz together. Likewise, we're going to leave the tags and competencies options as defaults. Now let's save and display our quiz. You'll notice that no questions have yet been added to this quiz. How to add questions will be handled in another video. In order to edit your quiz to make changes, click on the small gear icon at upper right. Then select Edit Settings. Right now we're just going to change the number of attempts allowed for this quiz from 1 attempt to 2 attempts. Now let's save and display the quiz again. You'll note that it's not allowing us to save the quiz. This is because the system has flagged the 50 out of 10 as an incorrect grade for this quiz. The grade to pass needs to be less than 10. So we're going to change this grade from 50 to 5 out of 10, which is 50%. Now let's save and display the quiz again. You'll note that the quiz now has 2 attempts allowed, and the system allowed us to save the quiz with the changes to the grade. You've now completed the video instructions on adding a quiz to Moodle. Move on to the video on adding questions to a quiz.